experts. And I just want to say what an honor it is to welcome the BIE here, to our Secretary General, the BIE, our President, the BIE, and all the delegates. I just really enjoyed being able to spend some time with you today. Um, you know, I know many of you have had the chance to hear a lot about this expo and why we believe the United States would be a great host for this expo. And Bob gave a great overview of this. You've heard from so many others. But I want to spend a minute just discussing America's bid theme, which is healthy people, healthy planet, and health and well-being for all. This is the right message for this moment, and we believe that America is also the right messenger for this moment, the right convener to bring together countries from around the world to share their experiences and perspectives, to bring their innovations and their ingenuity together as we chart a future for all our countries that will be brighter than the past. Now, World Expos have always been about inspiration and wonder. They've encouraged visitors to dream boldly, to think creatively, and to envision a brighter future. And that's what drove really the American Public Health Association 83 years ago at the New York City World Fair to actually create an exhibit that has stood out to me, an exhibit of a life-sized man with see-through skin, where you could see the organs light up with a voice explaining what each of those organs did. And while that's commonplace today, some of that knowledge, 83 years ago, this was truly wondrous to be able to see inside the body, to understand what these various organs did. It was a testament to what science could do. And it helped shine a light also on what could come afterward in terms of the impact of scientific innovation. And when we look back on the last 83 years, we have seen extraordinary scientific discovery and progress. We've seen global health advances from the vaccines to MRIs to chemotherapy and antiviral treatments. And these happened not because of one scientist or one country. This happened because a global community came together to harness the power of science to build a better future for all of humankind. Today, we face a similar inflection point in history. There are profound challenges that are before us, from a global pandemic and emerging infections to a rising tide of chronic disease and the growing consequences of climate change. And it's more important than ever for us to unite in an urgent effort to secure the health and the future of us and also for our children. Now, if we as America are fortunate to have the opportunity to host the World Expo, we intend to use this moment to bring countries together to lay out a vision for how we will address these common challenges and to fundamentally reframe how we think about three critical elements: the health of individuals, the health of the collective, and the health of the planet. We want to, in this expo, create an experience as well and a dialogue that will inspire people to learn from one another and to work together to advance these deeply interconnected dimensions of health. I want to say a few words about each of these dimensions. The health of the individual, this is what we will focus on by showcasing cutting-edge treatments, groundbreaking technology, public health innovations, and creative approaches to both preventing and addressing illness. It will not just focus on what we know, but it'll focus on the gaps. What do we not know yet? What have we not done well? What do we need to do better in the future? And in doing so, we will draw from not only America's, but the world's deep well of experience. We are proud that America has been a pioneer in medicine and in public health, both in the state of Minnesota, where we hope to host this expo, but also throughout our nation. We will draw on all of those resources to showcase how we can move forward in advancing the health of the individual. Second is the health of the collective. If COVID-19 taught us anything, it is that our destinies are in fact intertwined, and that one person cannot be healthy alone if others are not healthy as well. And COVID-19 also just showed us the importance of cooperation and unity in the face of critical global health threats. It showed us that we have to be bold, that we have to be creative in our thinking, and we have to do so not just to face down the new threats that may come and the future pandemics, but also to deal with the old threats that have not vanished, like cholera and polio, and food insecurity, clean water access, and maternal mortality, which remains too high in too many countries across the world, including our own. The pandemic has also reminded us that we also have to rethink what drives health. That it's not just what happens in our clinics and our hospitals, it's also what happens in our education sector. It's also about poverty, which drives poor health. It's also about transportation and housing. These are critical underpinnings of health. The World Expo is a place where we can showcase what we have learned as a global community and renew our commitment to collaborate and innovate in the face of these shared threats. There is one other emerging public health threat that we will highlight, and that's the growing threat of social disconnection and lack of community. Our relationships with one another are vital to our health. Science has increasingly shown us that. When we are lonely or when we are isolated, that harms our body as well as our mind. We are more prone to polarization. We are less likely to come together in the face of adversity, including pandemics. So at the World Expo, we want to highlight how we can strengthen community and connection as we seek to build a more resilient world together. The final component of our theme is health and well-being for the planet. No matter what country or culture we come from, we are all united in the need for a safe and habitable planet. Yet as we look across the world right now, we see so many nations struggling with extreme weather events, including right here in the United States. From wildfires and hurricanes to catastrophic floods, devastating droughts, and a dramatic melting of ice sheets and glaciers. Now, we all have the professional roles that we play, but many of us are also in our personal lives parents and grandparents. We may have other children that we care about in our lives, nieces and nephews, children of our friends. And we want all these children to be able to inherit a world that is beautiful, hospitable, and sustainable. I think often about my own children, who I said goodbye to this morning as I sent them off to school. I love them dearly, and I also know that few things are more important than ensuring that they can breathe clean air and drink clean water and inherit a planet that is safe and secure. The threat of climate change is real and it is present. This is no longer a future threat. But there are reasons to be optimistic that we can address climate change. And at the World Expo, America will work hard with partners across the world to showcase these reasons to be hopeful. From the technology we are developing to the global initiatives that are being launched by creative entrepreneurs and committed communities all across the world. We will also highlight the urgent need for action and pathways to global collaboration, because we know that no single nation can address climate change alone. And when America's civil rights icon, Martin Luther King Jr., who we spoke about earlier this morning, during his time on this earth, he uttered many memorable phrases. But one that I always keep close to me is his quote that says, "We are tied together in a single garment of destiny." And he was right. This is our moment to come together, powered by our ingenuity and by our shared destiny. Our hope is to inspire the world to come together for the health of the planet, for this generation and for future generations. As I close, let me just say this. America has always strived to contribute to and to lead on matters of health. It's not to say we are perfect. It's not to say we have all the answers. But we know how important health is, and we are proud that the investments that we have made in health and in science over the years have created world-class scientific and healthcare organizations, that they've driven innovations in technology, in treatments and vaccines, including COVID-19 vaccines, and that the benefits of these have accrued to the whole world. And similarly, we have benefited from innovations that have taken place elsewhere in the world. The World's Fair has always been an incredible partner and a forum where we can create a healthier and stronger future together. And what we are seeking to do, if we have the chance to host this expo, is to work with the BIE to write the next chapter in this story of progress, centered around healthy people and a healthy planet. On a personal note, I just want to share one thing I spoke to the group earlier about today, which is just about my own family. My parents immigrated here to the United States from India when I was only 3 years old. And as a child, I would often ask them, why did you come? Why did you leave grandma and grandpa? Why did you leave all your brothers and sisters and your aunts and uncles to come half a world away to the United States of America? And they told me because America to them was a magical place. It was a place that brought a diversity of talents and ideas and cultures and experiences together to create extraordinary outcomes in health, in education, in technology, and the arts. My family was blessed to not only witness, but to experience these benefits as I grew up and later as I became an adult. But I want to tell you that as a nation, we will bring this same magic to the World Expo. We will harness the ingenuity of our diverse communities. We will harness our relationships across the world to bring in the learning and knowledge of other nations. We will bring cutting-edge innovation of our science, healthcare, agricultural, marine, and educational sectors to bear. And we will draw from our rich well of experience to create a World Expo that will uplift and inspire and chart a path for a healthier and stronger future. We are eager to host the World Expo once again, and we're excited to partner with the BIE to do it. Thank you so much.